Hey everybody, how's it going? Hope all's well on your side of the screen. Things are pretty good here. It's a beautiful, fabulously flippin' fantastic TGIMFF, which is, thank goodness, it's Mother Flippin' Friday. Alright, today's topic of interest. I've been asked by a couple people how I got into trucking. Good question. I do have a video out there that explains my whole trucking career. I did it, I don't know, about a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago when I was a yard dog. I filmed it, I was really tired, like on a Monday morning. It's over 11 minutes long. I might redo it someday, but for right now, I'll post a link to it in the comments box so you can watch a little more detail if you'd like. Or the description box down below. I can't talk today. I can never talk. You ever notice that? Anyway, basically how I got into trucking. First of all, I had an interest in trucking from when I was a kid. My grandfather was a owner-operator, and when we used to go over to his house, I used to get up behind the wheel and sit there and pretend I was truck driving. You know, I was like 9 or 10 years old, you know. I even got to go on a couple trips with him, which was pretty cool. And then, I'm going to fast forward to 2001. I worked at a place called Oneida Limited. I worked there for 5 years, and I got laid off. And because we imported a certain amount of what we exported or sold, manufactured, I was eligible for a NAFTA TRA grant so that I could go and get retrained for another line of work. Now originally I was looking into getting into computer programming, web page design, and internet marketing, but the grant I had wasn't going to cover the full expense of that. It only covered maybe, like, I forget what the exact amount was, but it was maybe like just under 3/4 of the cost. So I would have had to deal with financial loans. Plus, I would have to go to school for like 2 to 4 years, and I'm really not one to sit behind a desk. I mean, I had all I could do to get through high school. So I started looking for other trades to get into, and seeing how I always had an interest in truck driving, I've seen a lot of advertisements, you know, for, you know, truck drivers needed. So I thought, hey, I'll look into that. So I looked up truck driving schools, and I came across the National Tractor Trailer School in Liverpool, New York, or NTTS for short. Went out there, checked it out, and said, you know, I think I can do this. And my NAFTA TRA grant worked, so I went to NTTS. It was an 8-week course. My grant paid for the whole thing, and I left there with my CDLA license and a pre-hire with H.O. Welding out of Wisconsin. Now, unfortunately, through some personal family issues that were going on at the time, I had to turn down the pre-hire for H.O. Welding. I called them up and explained to them what was going on. Basically, my mom was going through cancer, and she was in remission for a while, but she's about to go through another operation, a whole nother round of chemo, and I didn't feel right going out to Wisconsin while she was back here in New York going through all this stuff. So I talked to them. They understood. They told me if I ever, you know, needed a job, give them a call. I'd be more than happy. You know, yada 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 yada. You know, your normal stuff. And I went and got myself a job at a local packaging company as an outside forklift driver. And they had 4 trucks with 2 drivers. After a couple months, I started doing some local deliveries for them, and eventually I became a driver for them. This was at Temple Inland in Utica, New York. Worked for them for 4.5 years, and the only reason I left there is because Black Horse Carriers had an ad that said, our drivers make $1,100 a week. At the time, I was only making $550 a week, so twice the money I was making. Sign me up. Worked for them for about 1.5 years, and then they started making some changes that didn't work for me. Even though I did make a lot of money with them, I made the most money with them that I've made trucking, period. But the changes didn't work for my schedule or my life, so I left. Took a manufacturing machine job for about 6 months. Then I got another driving job with Power Technology. Drove for them for about 2 years, and all I did with them was just go from their main plant to their off-site warehouse. Did that for 2 years. I left there because couldn't pay the bills. I literally made $639 every 2 weeks, and it was getting to the point where our savings account was just about wiped out, and I had to do something. So I went to work for G&D Warehouses and Logistics out of Utica, New York. They're no longer in business. I drove for them for 13 months. And to put it as nicely as possible, I was going to end up either dead or in jail with this company. So I left. Ran mainly the Northeast. I've always run the Northeast. I've always been a local slash regional driver. I've never gone over the road. And then after G&D, I got the job at Family Dollar as a forklift operator, which lasted about, I don't know, 5 or 6 weeks because I got the backup switcher job there, and that turned into a full-time position when one of the guys out in the yard quit. Then I did the yard dog thing for 3.5 years, which is where I started vlogging and all that. And now I'm here, and I work at, and they've treated me very well. I really can't complain. I mean, I make decent money. I'm living comfortably. I'm home every day. I mean, I do get stuck out once in a while. The truck's a little old and beat up, but you know, really I can't complain. It gets the job done. So that's where I'm at in my trucking career. That's how I got into trucking. This is the only job that I can do in this area that I can make decent money, so I'll be doing this for a while. I can't necessarily say that I'm going to retire with this company. You never know what opportunity might come down the road. You know, that's how trucking is. You know, you think you could be at one job forever, or you could move around or whatever. But that's how I got in trucking. Thank y'all for watching. I'll talk to y'all later. Y'all have a good day. Adios.